listening to another edition, a special episode of In the Know Radio Magazine show, In the Community. And on the lines with me now is Avery D. Wilson, also known as Mr. United States 2016. His platform is distinctly relevant in today's society. And the accomplished businessman, also former HBCU collegiate student, government president. Mr. United States, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good morning, Denise. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I am well. It's very, very fabulous to have you here with us. It's a blessing today.
Awesome.
Now, I want to go ahead and start the interview with you. You're a native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and you have an instilled passion for the well-being of our youth. Speak to us about our next generation. What do they mean to you?
Absolutely, yeah. Baton Rouge is my home. It's a one interesting city in so many levels because there's always been somewhat of an underlying division between the communities. And so I kind of made a choice that when I graduated from Southern that I wanted to really put some time into our youth, especially those who are underserved. I feel like youth, especially this next generation, I'm a millennial, but the Generation Z, they really have an opportunity to push society forward if indeed they really get some strong values and the wisdom from those who come before. So I feel like there's no better way to really leave a legacy than to impart the things that you've learned and to give back to the young people because they really are the future.
Absolutely, and giving back is something that we have to do because, as you mentioned, we are, whether a lot of us want to be or not, we're the role models for our next generation. Talk to us briefly about being a role model.
Well, I personally think being a role model is operating in your authentic power. It's your personal truth. Like, we're all wired differently, and I think society has a way of kind of painting role models as one form and fashion. But the truth is we all have the ability and the power to do that. And that's just by living our truth, getting in tune with the things that you're talented in, getting in tune with your gifts, and just being able to do that authentically and lovingly and operate in a way that where you realize that your life really isn't about yourself. It's about the relationships that you have with others. And so I take being a role model being very serious because I think, like I said, we all have the power to do it. It's just something that we have to make the conscious choice.
And how do you seek to elevate others through these 8 pillars?
Well, yeah, my Avery D. Wilson brand is an 8-pillared brand. It's things like performance art and theater, dance, it's motivation, it's pageantry. It's all things that I've had some experience in. And my whole goal is, like you said, to elevate others, to give back. So whether it's me using my dance talent to teach young kids or working in pageantry to teach guys or girls how to become their best selves, or even if it's just motivational speaking, there's always a way to inspire people by what you've learned and what you do. So, yeah, the Avery D. Wilson brand is one of those things that I've finally got in tune with how God has really fashioned my life to be of service to other people. And so whether it's, lifestyle and fitness or just helping them, like I said, to learn how to be their best selves is something that I hope will, inspire them and elevate them to be great.
And again, listeners, we're speaking with Mr. United States 2016, and you advocate for social justice while empowering young men to become leaders. And you've spoken to us so much about this just in this short interview. Talk to us more about Love Matters.
Yeah, my national platform is LOVE, Living Optimistic Values Every Day. Because I realize that love really is the thing that matters. It's the one thing, and if there's never ever been a time before, now is the time for us to impart more love. And people, when they usually hear it, they think, oh, it's pageantry, it's just a pageant platform about love. But the reality is, no. There are small things that we can do every day. We can choose, whether it's being more accepting of other people who are different, or whether it's giving a kind word to somebody on the street, or even if it's just being more patient. Like, there are things that we can do every day if we choose it. It's a 3-pillared platform that's love for self, a love for others, and a love for something greater.
Yeah.
So I really think that when we get in tune with that as a society, not just in the United States, but as a global society, when we learn how to just be more empathetic, more compassionate towards others, I think all of these isms, whether it's racism or sexism, like a lot of that will will eventually start to dissipate, the more we get in tune with how to love on one another.
Absolutely. These are really, really great and inspiring words from you, Mr. United States. With so much going on, as you mentioned, in this world today, and especially in the United States with all these protests, the uprisings, love, love, love is very important. What's your perspective on peaceful protests and the Black Lives Matter movement?
Well, Black Lives Matter is very important to me. Just as an African-American male, I completely relate to the injustices that we, incur being in this country. Like, the reality is I've been racially profiled. I'm constantly reminded every day, whether I choose to or not, that I'm a black male in this country. And so it's important to me. And I think that as a national title holder, it's my responsibility to speak out about it and to not be silent. When it comes to protesting, I'm a little different. I believe in both. I believe that there's a space for peaceful protest, and I think that there's a necessity for that which can be deemed unruly.
Wow.
I was on the steps of my state capitol here in Baton Rouge with other brothers peacefully protesting because I think that, white America especially, they need to see that. They tend to generalize us and box us into all black males being the same, but no, they need to see some articulate and socially conscious black men who are willing to stand up peacefully. But I also think that it's important that the message needs to reach those who need to hear it.
Yes.
So, sometimes that white, the bad white cops, they're not watching CNN or they're not listening to this interview per se. I needed to be out there with my brothers who were standing across the street, speaking to those cops and letting them know that we are angered and frustrated and we are not going to tolerate, the unfairness as it relates to our just judicial system here. So I'm kind of balanced on that. I believe that both are necessary, and I support both causes. I'm not an advocate for violence, obviously, but I'm definitely big on making sure that the voices of the unheard, that we message that in any way possible.
Now, the funeral for Philando Castile was held on yesterday, and today Alton Sterling, his funeral will be held on today. Again, we are speaking with Mr. United States 2016, and he teaches all men to give love, have compassion, and show empathy for others. And his campaign principles are as follows: love for self, love for others, love for something greater, ARC, act of random kindness. Talk to us about ARC.
Yeah, it's funny because people don't realize it, but the small things that we do every day, whether it's, like I said, just the other day I was having a text message situation to where sometimes how the text tone can be unfamiliar. You're not really sure exactly what people are intending.
Yes.
Well, instead of quickly and radically just reacting with a negative, reaction, I'm learning how to be a little bit more patient with my response. And so the ARC Fridays is just an act of random kindness. Like, if we think about it, every Friday, if we could intentionally do something kind, whether it's just, like I said, giving someone a kind compliment on the street, or just being a little bit more understanding of a boss that's giving you trouble, or being more patient with your kids who are working your nerves, like, little acts of random kindness go a long way, and people notice it. And so I think that, eventually we start reaping that which we sow. And so that's my whole mission. I'm trying to teach people how to just be more conscious, to just sow a little bit more love.
Hats off to you, Mr. United States 2016. What's on the horizon for you, and how can my listeners learn more about you?
Well, all of our social media is Mr. United States. Our website is MrUnitedStates.org, MrUnitedStates.org. And we are really getting ready to launch a national tour to where we are casting calls for teens and adult men who are interested in potentially becoming the next Mr. United States. Yes. It's a brand new organization that, has so much potential, and we're growing by the day. So for guys who are interested in doing things and giving back to their communities, but also interested in competing, with fitness and pageantry, then this is definitely a great opportunity for you. But yeah, I'd love for people to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's Mr. United States. And just stay up in tune with all of what we have coming, because it's something to reach for not just the guys, but for all of us.
Mr. United States, I commend you so much for all of the love that you are showing and what you're doing in the communities. There is an open invite when you'd like to come back and spread this love.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Mr. United States, you have a blessed weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too.
All right. And again, listeners, Mr. United States 2016, Avery D. Wilson. Again, his platform is distinctly relevant in today's society, and the accomplished businessman, also former HBCU collegiate student government president. Again, Mr. United States 2016, spreading the love. We are in need of love today. You're listening to another edition of In the Know Radio Magazine Show. We'll be right back with you.